In a bold move, Donald Trump has issued a stark warning to Iran, threatening bombings if it refuses his proposed nuclear deal. This development has reignited tensions since Trump's withdrawal from the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA. Trump's warning was delivered with typical bravado, suggesting unprecedented bombings. This threat is part of his strategy to bring Iran back to the negotiating table under terms more favorable to the U.S. The reimposition of U.S. sanctions has crippled Iran's economy, fueling a cycle of defiance and escalation. Trump's approach to Iran has always been characterized by a mix of pressure and engagement. His administration's strategy was to isolate Iran economically and politically, forcing it to negotiate from a position of weakness. The recent threat highlights the risks involved, as Iran has shown little inclination to capitulate without substantial concessions. Trump's current strategy involves a direct ultimatum to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader. In a letter, Trump laid out a 2-month deadline for Iran to agree to his terms on its nuclear program. This ultimatum is a clear message that patience is running thin and that decisive action may follow if Iran does not comply. The letter was a tactical move designed to put pressure on Iran's leadership by highlighting the urgency of the situation. Trump's message was clear: make a decision, or face severe consequences. Iran has been quick to dismiss the possibility of direct negotiations with the U.S., opting instead for indirect talks through intermediaries. This response suggests that Iran is not willing to succumb to pressure tactics, maintaining its stance that any discussions should be balanced and respectful of its sovereignty. A confidential UN report has indicated that Iran possesses enough enriched uranium to potentially produce several nuclear weapons, adding urgency to Trump's ultimatum. While Trump's rhetoric often emphasizes strength, he has repeatedly stated a preference for diplomacy over military action. Trump has expressed a willingness to engage diplomatically, yet he remains prepared to take military action if necessary to protect U.S. interests. The deployment of U.S. military assets such as B-2 stealth bombers to Diego Garcia serves as a tangible demonstration of this readiness. This deployment is a strategic move intended to deter Iran from further provocations and to reinforce Trump's ultimatum with the credible threat of force. The U.S. military's presence in the region is a constant reminder of the potential consequences of defiance. Trump's administration has consistently argued that a strong military presence is necessary to back up diplomatic efforts. Despite the aggressive posturing, Trump has maintained that a peaceful resolution is preferable. This balancing act between diplomacy and military readiness is a delicate one, requiring careful management to avoid unintended consequences. Iran's initial response to Trump's threat and ultimatum has been defiant, emphasizing its unwillingness to be coerced into an agreement. Iranian officials, including President Masoud Pezeshkian, have rejected direct talks with the United States, citing a lack of trust and respect as fundamental obstacles. Instead, Iran has shown a preference for engaging through intermediaries, such as Oman, to mediate any potential negotiations. This mistrust is rooted in decades of animosity and conflicting interests, compounded by recent events such as the United States' withdrawal from the JCPOA and the imposition of harsh economic sanctions. Internally, Iran has sought to project an image of strength and resilience. Iranian propaganda has carefully crafted narratives that emphasize national pride and resistance against foreign interference. This defiance is further reflected in Iran's continued nuclear activities, which have exceeded the limits established by the JCPOA. Iran insists that its nuclear program is peaceful, yet the international community remains wary of its intentions. The unfolding situation between the United States and Iran has significant implications for global security. Trump's threat to bomb Iran if it rejects his nuclear deal not only heightens tensions in the Middle East, but also poses a broader challenge to international stability. The potential for military conflict could disrupt global energy markets, impact international relations, and exacerbate regional instability. One critical aspect of this crisis is the role of other global powers. The United States' focus on Iran has implications for its defense priorities, particularly as it seeks to address challenges posed by China and Russia. The international community, including the United Nations and European allies, has a vested interest in preventing a military conflict and ensuring the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. Collaborative efforts are essential to mediate the situation and find a sustainable solution that addresses the concerns of all parties involved. As the deadline for Iran's decision approaches, the world watches closely, hoping for a resolution that averts conflict and promotes peace.